Hare Krishna. So, we have discussed all the four dimensions: physical, emotional, intellectual, and spiritual. Now, I want to discuss some quotes of Srila Prabhupada regarding how we can protect our children from spiritual abuse. We have seen what does spiritual abuse means and what are the various ways in which the child can be spiritually deprived. So, one of the things for sure is to provide sufficient facilities and resources to children for spiritual development. And second is, we know that children learn by imitating. They don't learn by hearing, they don't learn by force. They just imitate what they see. So we have to act accordingly as we want them to act. So here is a letter of Srila Prabhupada. He said, now you, husband and wife, must work together with great responsibility for raising your new child in ideal Krishna consciousness. Children learn by imitation. So if you both set Krishna conscious example, the child will very naturally and easily become advanced in Krishna consciousness by following. So that is how they learn. They just follow what the parents are doing, at least till the age of 10. So in the beginning, they learn everything just by imitation. They see people, how they are doing, and they do the same way. So it is very important for us to set up a right example in front of them because they are always observing and they are observing for the motive to learn. They are observing us, how we are talking, how we are behaving, because they want to learn how they have to talk and how they have to behave. So whenever we are in front of children, it is a great responsibility that Srila Prabhupada is saying. And the husband and wife both have to work together because if one of them act in a certain way and the other act in some different way, the child becomes confused what he has to follow and what he don't have to follow. So both husband and wife, they have to work together, and it is a great responsibility to raise children because we have discussed already they are not ordinary children, they are Vaikuntha children. They are already devotees of Krishna, therefore they have taken birth in a devotee family. So to provide them all facilities for their spiritual development, it is very important that both husband and wife set up good example in front of them, and they will just learn by seeing that example. They will follow. After age of 10, there are different principles. Like Chanakya Pandit says, by the age of 15, after that you have to act like a friend, not as a mentor or parent or teacher, as a friend. So here is another, not by force, but by love and exemplary behavior. So that exemplary behavior is again repeating because it is very important. And we cannot teach children by force. Prabhupada is clearly mentioning in his letter that forcing will not make me agree. But if there is love, oh, I shall gladly do it. So that's how the children act. Even the elders, but children, by force, they are not going to learn. But if they see that they are being loved, they will gladly do whatever we say. And Prabhupada is saying that is bhakti, that is Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not done by force. It is done out of love. When we saw the love of devotees, we became motivated to practice Krishna consciousness. But if they would have been forced us, then we would have said, no, I am okay in my own life. I don't want to follow. Love is the principle. So similarly, if we train children by developing and encouraging their propensity to love Krishna, so this propensity to love Krishna is there within every living entity. And our children, because I already said, they have practiced Krishna consciousness in their previous lives, and we can very clearly see through their intelligence, through their inclination towards Krishna consciousness, they have practiced Krishna consciousness in previous life, and therefore they have a propensity to love Krishna. Now it is our duty to encourage them, to give them facilities to practice that propensity to love Krishna and develop it more and more. Then we shall be successful in educating them to the topmost standard, that is education. So giving the example of Arudha Mataji, she said, there is everything in Srila Prabhupada books. If we just study and follow the injunctions given in Srila Prabhupada's books, there is nothing else for education. Everything is there. There is history, there is art, there is language, there is astrology, astronomy, science, everything. And if we are able to facilitate our children in developing their love for Krishna, of course, not whimsically, based on knowledge, based on the scriptures, books that Srila Prabhupada has given, then that is the topmost standard of education, and they will not be deprived in any way. We have fear as parents that if they just learn scriptures and they don't learn other subjects, they will lack in society. But if they truly follow the scriptures, if they truly understand what is given in the scriptures, what is given in Srila Prabhupada books, then it also includes how to live life in this material world. So no extra endeavor outside is required for them to learn language, how to speak, or about science, or about maths, or about arts. Everything is there. But we have to learn that through proper channel, through proper devotee who can explain and facilitate those things. Then that will be the topmost standard of education. Nothing else is required. Next letter is, Prabhupada is saying, regarding your question, should force be used on children? No. Prabhupada is clearly saying, no. There shall be no forcing the children to do anything. Child should not be forced. This is all nonsense. Who has devised these things? If we want them to become great devotees, then we must educate the children with love, not in a negative way. That means not by force, but by love. That is the principle. Very clearly, Prabhupada is mentioning that. Okay, so now having understood all these things, what is the role of teachers and parents for bringing up children? So parents and teachers, they act as mirror for children. We have discussed this, that as we show them, if we, whenever we are talking to them, if we say, oh, you are very intelligent, you are very beautiful, they have that image in themselves. Yes, I am intelligent, I am beautiful. But on the other hand, if we keep saying them, you are a dumb fool, you are ugly, you are stupid, then they create that image of themselves. Even if they are intelligent, they start feeling, oh, I'm not intelligent, I'm a fool, because my teachers and parents have told me like that. So teachers and parents, they act as mirror for children. The way we show them, they make their own image accordingly. Second is, very important role as parents and teachers. They act as fallback. So as human beings, each one of us at every level of age, we need someone to fall back, some support system. Example is given when Duryodhan and Arjun were given the opportunity to choose. Then Arjuna chose Krishna and Duryodhan chose Krishna's army. So one thing is, it is very important to have someone on whom we can fall back or on from whom we can seek support in our troubled times. And second thing important is, who is that fallback? That is also very important, because if that support system is not capable of providing us support, then again we will fall. We will not be getting that support because the support that we are choosing is not capable. The same thing what Duryodhan did. He chose the army of Krishna, and Arjuna chose Krishna himself. So whom we are choosing as our fallback, that is also important. Many times it happens that children, they are not getting proper support from parents. They want to share everything. Whatever is happening to them, they want to speak out. But because as parents or teachers, we are busy doing our own things, we don't give time to them, we don't listen to them. So what they do, they go to someone else because they want some support. So they seek out to find out their own support system. Now, when they go out, they mostly fall prey of negative supports. For example, most of the time they find support in their friends, and the friends, they are of the same age, they don't have any more intelligence as our children. So whenever the children, they want some suggestion or something goes wrong with them, they go to their friend and discuss. And now that friend, he's also not very mature, so he gives some absurd suggestions according to his own intelligence. And then there is a pitfall where there is a lot of opportunity for our children to go in wrong direction. Therefore, it is our responsibility, our duty as teachers and parents to act as fallback for our children, to provide them support system so that whenever they feel, they can approach us. Very important. Next principle, extremely important principle in parenting, is detached caring. So this principle of detached caring has two opposite words. When we become detached, we don't care. And when we care for someone, we become attached. So detached caring is seemingly two opposite terms, but it is very important to practice detached caring. We have to care, of course. They are children, they are our children. So we have to care, but in a detached manner. What happens when we become attached? Most of the time, when we are attached to something, we are not able to provide the right kind of care which is required. And on the name of care, we sometimes exploit our children, or we try to get something from them. As we discussed earlier, the role of parents is to give, not to receive. But when we become attached, on the name of love, we do something else. So we have to practice the principle of detached caring. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of efforts, conscious efforts, but it is very important. The more we are able to apply detached caring, the more we will be successful in parenting skills. Then take sufficient measures for overall protection of children. So we have discussed what are the different ways in which the child may get abused or hurt physically, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually. So as teachers and parents, it is our duty to provide them sufficient protection, take sufficient measures for their overall protection, and then provide them sufficient facilities and resources for their holistic development in all spheres of life, their physical development, emotional development, intellectual development, and spiritual development. We have discussed all these 4 dimensions in details in previous sessions. So last thing for today is inculcating in children a strong sense of being loved, protected, and accepted. That is the success of being teacher or parent. If we are able to give this sense in our children that yes, they are being loved, whatever they do, still they are being loved, still they are being protected, and still they are being accepted in the family, in the group. They are part, they are members. When they have this strong sense, our duty as teachers and parents is fulfilled, we are successful. If we are not able to do that, then they will seek something else outside for love, for protection, for acceptance, for appreciation, for care. They will go out, and that's where we fail as teachers and parents. So I would like to pause here. For next session, I would encourage that you can make a list. What do you understand as what is your duty as parent? So we will have practical session next week. Thank you. Hare Krishna.